You're 18. People tell you you're young, that you have your whole life ahead of you. But what they don't understand is that pain still feels real. Love still feels deep. And heartbreak, especially from someone you gave your all to, feels like the end of the world. Maybe you loved someone who didn't love you back the way you needed. Maybe they played with your feelings, made you feel small, like your love was a burden. Maybe you tried to fix them, thinking if you loved them hard enough, they'd finally change. But they didn't. And now, you're left with the pieces. The late night thoughts, the what did I do wrong questions, the silence, the emptiness. Let me tell you something nobody else will. You're not crazy. You're not weak. You just care deeply in a world that doesn't always know how to return that kind of love. But now, it's time to stand back up, to understand what happened, to forgive yourself, and to grow into the person you were always meant to be without them. Don't let anyone minimize your pain. Yes, you're 18, but pain doesn't wait until you're older to hit. Heartbreak doesn't care about age. Love, betrayal, manipulation, they're all real, even when you're young. If someone made you question your worth, if they constantly made you feel like you were the problem, if they came and went like your heart was a hotel, that wasn't love, that was power. And now you're left rebuilding something they never valued, you. Real love doesn't make you anxious. It doesn't make you beg for replies. It doesn't leave you crying at 2 a.m. wondering why you're never enough. If they constantly blamed you, ghosted you, or manipulated you into feeling guilty for expressing your feelings, that's not love. That's emotional abuse dressed up like passion. Stop telling yourself, but they had a good side. Toxic people often do. That's how they keep you hooked. They give you just enough love to keep you hungry, then starve you with silence. Love should feel like safety, not survival. You waited for them to show up, to change, to be the person you imagined they could be. But don't let one broken person convince you that love isn't real. Start with small things. Wake up early. Go for walks. Journal every night. Take cold showers. Read books that make you feel powerful. Hang out with people who light up your soul. Rebuilding yourself isn't a one-time act. It's a daily choice. You won't wake up healed, but one day, you will wake up and realize you're no longer thinking about them. And that day will feel like freedom. Love is still real. It just wasn't that love. That wasn't love, it was a lesson. A painful, confusing, heartbreaking lesson, but a lesson that woke you up. Now it's time to rewrite the story, not as the broken one, but as the one who chose to heal. You need to go cold turkey, not because you hate them, but because you love yourself enough to walk away. Delete the photos. Burn the letters. Unfollow, block, mute. Stop rewatching the memories like they're a movie that ended differently. Closure doesn't come from them. It comes from finally telling yourself, I deserve peace. But while you waited, you lost parts of yourself. Pieces of your confidence. Pieces of your joy. You stopped laughing the same. You started questioning your value. Let me say this clearly. You cannot keep setting yourself on fire just to keep someone else warm. At some point, choosing you will have to become more important than keeping them. Don't half-heal. Don't block them and then stalk their page from a second account. Don't delete their number and keep rereading old texts. You may be tempted to shut down, to say I'll never love again, to believe that all relationships are toxic. You're 18. You've got time. Time to rediscover yourself. Time to fall in love with your life again. Forgive yourself for staying too long. Forgive yourself for missing the red flags. Forgive yourself for losing yourself. You're going to meet people who love you correctly. And one day, you'll look back at this toxic relationship, and you'll smile. Not because it was okay, but because you survived it. You learned. You grew. And most importantly, you walked away when it hurt the most. That's strength. That's courage. That's you. Who don't play games. Who show up without you having to beg. But first, you have to love yourself that way. You were just trying to love. You were just trying to feel seen. And that's not something to be ashamed of. You were never the problem. Let this be the moment you stop looking back. This isn't the end. It's the beginning of a stronger, wiser, more powerful you. You are not what they did to you. You are not your past. You are not broken. You are becoming.